This is Laramie Wells, the Superman of Tech, and today we begin a series on creating schoolwork through My Big Campus. Now, hopefully you've seen my presentation on how useful schoolwork is on My Big Campus, and you're ready to begin. Now, there are 4 topics we need to discuss when it comes to setting up schoolwork. The information about the schoolwork, including the type of assignment that you want to give, the different types of questions that My Big Campus has available, setting standards to your assignment, and of course, actually assigning the schoolwork. For the sake of time, we will only discuss setting up the information and questions in this video. There are 2 ways to begin creating new schoolwork on My Big Campus. The most obvious would be to press the Schoolwork button in the left-hand navigation menu. Once on this page, you can select the blue Create button on the right and select Schoolwork. The other option is to click the Create button at the top of the screen. This button is accessible from almost any page on My Big Campus. Once you've reached this screen, it's time to set up your schoolwork. The first thing we want to decide is what type of schoolwork we want to assign. This is important because there are types of schoolwork that act more like activities and don't feature any questions, and some don't even receive a grade. An assignment is a graded test that can include any combination of question groups and questions. Same thing goes with a quiz. So really you're just deciding, do I want to call it an assignment or do I want to call it a quiz? An assessment is an ungraded test that can include any combination of question groups and questions. Same thing again goes for a practice quiz. The only variation is in the name. An anonymous survey is an ungraded survey that shows individual and aggregated results for each question. An anonymous survey can include any combination of question groups and questions. A poll is the exact same. But the difference between an anonymous survey and a poll is that, of course, an anonymous survey does not show the names of the submitters, whereas the poll includes the names of the submitters. A simple assignment is a graded assignment that includes no questions and allows a student to return the assignment by either filling out a text box or attaching an item. And finally, a task is an ungraded assignment that assigns students a task, such as watching a video, to complete. Select the type of schoolwork and give your schoolwork a name. Now you'll want to include a description. Now this can act as directions for the students to read before they begin the schoolwork. Now the following icons will give you options to attach resources that the students may need to view prior to opening up the schoolwork. You can attach a file straight from your computer, pull something from your My Big Campus drive, retrieve a resource from the My Big Campus library, or provide a quick link to another page on My Big Campus. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the My Big Campus drive, library, or quick links, they're going to be featured in another video. Once you've entered this information, be sure you click Save and Continue. Now, if you selected a schoolwork type that has no questions, congratulations, you're done. You can stop the video now. But if you have questions, then once you've clicked these Save and Continue, it's going to take you to the question page. So let's talk about adding questions to your schoolwork. Before we look at adding specific questions, let's talk about question groups. Now, question groups are like mini quiz banks. You can add your questions to a question group, then randomly assign a subset of the questions to the schoolwork. Your schoolwork automatically will contain one question group. You can add as many question groups as you need, and the setting for the question groups contain the following options. You're going to want to give the group a title. This could be multiple choice questions, chapter 1, questions from section 7. Provide a description. Just like before, this can act as directions for that particular group of questions. You also have the option to shuffle the questions. Now, this is a great way to ensure that students see different questions at different times. If you are including multiple choice or multiple select questions, you can tell My Big Campus to shuffle the answers. Now, I do want to point out that if you're going to shuffle answers, you're going to have to avoid questions like all of the above, none of the above, both A and C, because of course they're going to be in different orders. Now, decide the number of questions to give from this group. Now, you may create 10 questions, but you only want the students to be given 5 of those questions. So My Big Campus will randomly select 5 out of the group of 10. Now, if you are choosing this option, and even with the shuffle the question option, you're going to have to also avoid questions that refer to other questions that you may have created, since they might not be there, or since the order might be different. Finally, if you want every question in the group to have the same point value, you can set that point value from this location. This way, every question in the group will be automatically preset to that point value. Now make sure you click Save to update the settings for the question group. Now let's look at question types. Remember, certain question types will be graded by My Big Campus automatically. All you have to do is provide the correct answer. Even with automatic grading, you are still able to manually change or correct the grade that My Big Campus gave. Now here are the various types of questions. An essay question prompts the student to type a text response to the question. Essay questions are graded manually by the teacher. A multiple choice question prompts the student to select the single best answer to the question. Multiple choice questions are graded automatically by My Big Campus. A multiple select question prompts the student to select one or more best answers to the question. Multiple select questions are graded automatically by My Big Campus. Now, I do want to point out that multiple select is an all or nothing response. If they don't answer every one correctly, My Big Campus will mark the whole thing incorrect. A true or false question prompts the student to select whether the statement in the question is true or false. These questions are graded automatically. A fill-in-the-blank question prompts students to complete a sentence by supplying the missing information. Fill-in-the-blank questions are graded automatically by My Big Campus. I do want to give a warning though. My Big Campus makes it so that the student must type the answer exactly as you type it. If they misspell it, if they put a capital letter at the beginning, if they add a second word, My Big Campus will mark it wrong. A file upload question prompts the student to attach a file as a response to the question. These are graded manually by the teacher. An essay/file upload question gives the student the option to attach a file or respond via a text box. Again, this is graded manually by the teacher. My Big Campus also gives you the option to select questions from other created schoolwork via the question bank. Simply locate the existing schoolwork, select the group containing the question, and then add whichever question you wish. The question bank will be very useful once you've created several schoolwork assignments. That way you can put things together in a cumulative assessment or possibly even just a review. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. We know how to start the creation process for schoolwork. We know how to choose the type of schoolwork, name it, give it a description, and select any options that we may have. We know how to set up a question group and insert the different question types, and know that the ones that are to be graded by My Big Campus, we must provide the correct responses. And that's all for now. In the next video, we will learn how to attach standards to the schoolwork and then assign it to your My Big Campus groups and students. This is Laramie Wells, the Superman of Tech. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and feel free to email me at any time, supermanoftech@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for our next adventure.